Hi everyone, Mr. Allen here. I'm going to quickly run through adding trend lines and coefficients of determination to Excel and Google Sheets spreadsheets, just to show how quick and easy it is. So I have some data here, some made up data, X and Y, 20 pieces of data. I'm going to highlight the data. This is Excel to start. And I'm going to go to Insert, and in here, Scatter Plot. And I get my basic chart right away. Once the chart's on the screen, you can click on it, drag it around as you need to. Once the chart is up, we can right-click on the data, choose Add Trend Line, and choose the type of trend line we're interested in. I'm going to stick with linear for this one. And I'm interested in seeing the equation, so I'm going to display the equation and display the r-squared value. Now it's a little small. We can click on it and adjust the font as we would anything else. And so you can see now pretty clearly what the equation is. The equation is 1.6369 times x minus this 4.7984. And what this allows me to do now is make predictions about future values. If I was interested in knowing what is likely to be the y value when x is 50, of course I could put the 50 in here, multiply by this number, and subtract this, and I would get an approximate value for y. Similarly, if I wanted to know when am I going to hit 100, I could put the 100 in here, rearrange the equation, and solve for the x. The r-squared value, the coefficient of determination, gives me a pretty good idea of how accurate my line is. You know that we also sometimes use a correlation coefficient or coefficient of correlation. That value is just r. So if we wanted to, we could solve for r. And r would simply be that same value square rooted. And to do square root, there's a couple of options here. I think there's actually a square root. Of 0.9609. Now the value I'm seeing here is 1, simply because of the number of decimal places. Up here I can force more decimals, and 0.98 ends up being the approximate value of r. So now in Google Sheets, essentially the same process. Highlight the data, choose Insert, Chart. I want to change from the column chart to be a scatter plot. And then once I've highlighted my data, I should be able to add a trend line here. It's linear, that's fine. I'm going to change the label to say, use the equation as my label, and I will show the r-squared value once more. And now in here, if I select the piece of information, I should be able to change my font size here and make it something more easily read on the video. You can see that the numbers that are showing here aren't exactly what they were in the other case. 1.63 minus 4.8, basically the same numbers, but just slightly different on how much it's rounded off, but certainly close enough for all of our purposes. Okay. So that's how you do trend line in both Google Sheets and in Excel. It is very easy. If you forget, it's pretty easy to track them down. You're just looking to add a trend line and then make sure you show the equation. And again, at this point now, I can use this equation. To estimate values, to extrapolate what the value likely would be when x is 50, when x is 100, when y is 50, and so on.